Hello, hey. Okay, so I want to talk about honoring the present moment. So humans are a weird bunch, aren't we? When it comes to time, they just have a weird relationship to time. So, most people that I know of, they fret about past, right? So here's what happened yesterday, or here's what happened, an hour ago or 10 years ago, right? And they can't seem to get over it, right? Or they worry about the future, right? I don't know what's going to happen when, at this moment as I'm recording this, we're still stuck kind of in the pandemic, and it's the beginning of summer here, and we're not quite sure what's going to happen with school, right? So we're worrying about the future. I don't know what's going to happen, okay? Rarely do they ever stay in the present moment. So for example, I've trained myself that as I'm sitting here and I'm recording this video, I'm thinking about this moment. How can I do not just a good job, but how can I add value to you in this moment, right? I'm also thinking about, what's it going to be like when you watch this video, and how can I speak to you so that it's a good use of your time, right? So I love this quote I found the other day. It says, creative living means responding and reacting to your environment spontaneously. Creative living is responding and reacting to your environment spontaneously. So it's not, going out and painting or drawing or scrapbooking or quilting, or although those are all very creative activities, but creativity is really saying, this is what's happening in this moment, and how can I respond and react to it in a really good way, right? So instead of worrying about what happened, last year, or worrying about what's going to happen in a few months, it's saying, what's happening right now, and how can I make a really good use of that? Okay? So one thing I know is that the brain is set up that if you spend time in that place of worry. Now let me clarify here, because there is a difference between a concern and a worry. Okay? A concern is something that, hey, I need to be aware of this, right? A really good friend of mine the other day, she found that she has a suspicious mole on her leg, right? We need to be concerned about that. But worry is like taking your concern and exacerbating it, right? Worry doesn't do you any good. Worry just puts you in this actually stressful mode. So your brain will interpret that worry, and it will send out all of these emotions that are not good for you. They actually reduce your immune system's ability to respond. It reduces your ability to be creative. Which means it reduces your ability to solve problems. So let's say you have a concern like that, and you're like, okay, what do I do next? Well, first call, I don't know, maybe the doctor, right? And then after that, you go to the doctor and they tell you whatever they're going to tell you, right? But you can't really respond and react to your environment right now because you don't know anything, right? So honoring that the present moment is really this idea of what's happening right now, and how can I stay in my right now? Okay? So I'm going to share with you a simple little thing that I do when I teach and I train in order to get people to come to the present moment. Okay? Because when you're trying to walk people through any sort of change, it's really important to get their brain with you, okay? One thing I have noticed is that many people, let's face it, they might show up somewhere in their body, but their mind isn't with them, okay? So it's really important that when I'm doing a teaching or a training, whether it be, an in-person live event, or whether it be something like this even, or typically I'm doing an online course or a live teaching call, right? I want to get people's brains in the right now moment. Okay, so I'm going to share that trick with you because you can do this for yourself. I would highly recommend that you do this before you read any book, before you listen to any podcast, before you read any blog, anything that hey, I want to attend to this and I want to get something out of it. Okay, it's a way to just bring your brain to the present moment. Okay, it's pretty simple. 3 things. I'm going to tell you the 3 things, and then I'm going to tell you why we do the 3 things, okay? So the 3 things are, we take 3 really deep breaths. So hold it and let it out. Okay, we do that 3 times. Now, why do we do that? Because what it does is it relaxes your nervous system. Okay, it tells your nervous system, hey, something's happening here. Let's just relax and pay attention to it. Okay, and it feels pretty good. And one thing I know is that as I've gone through life, I realize that people don't take those deep breaths enough. We kind of go about life taking in just enough oxygen to keep going, but not taking the full abundance of the breath that we could. Okay. The next thing that we do is we ask people to think about what is something that you're grateful for, right? Something that you're thankful or grateful for. So looking at this idea of it could be something big, it could be something small. It doesn't really matter what it is, but think about something you're grateful for and write that down. Now, what that does is it helps you get into this good feeling mode, okay? Your brain cannot feel fear and love at the same time. Okay? It is physiologically impossible. Different parts of the brain, it just cannot. And gratitude is on the love cycle. So when you're saying what is something that you're grateful for, you're signaling to your brain, hey, listen, we're going to be thinking about good things here, right? And so your brain will take that and shoots out to you all kinds of really good hormones and emotions, okay? And it just feels good, right? And then the third thing that we do is really, now that we've settled your nervous system, now that we've got your brain and your body together, the third thing is we ask people to think about, what is your intention? What is your goal for our time together? Right? So let's say we're doing a teaching call or an online course, and I say, okay, today's topic is going to be X, Y, and Z. What is your intention? What is your goal? What do you want to get or receive from this time today? Okay? Now, there's no right or wrong answer to that. It literally is whatever comes to you in the moment, right? And then we have them write that down. Now, what that does is it signals to the brain, hey, listen, pay attention. This is what we're looking for. Okay? And when you ask yourself that question, an answer is going to flow out of you. Okay? That is your answer. That is what you need to see. 9 times out of 10, people see not just that thing, but they see all kinds of things that are connected to that intention or goal. Okay? When you can set your brain it's like a scavenger hunt, right? You say, hey, go out and look for all of these things, right? Your brain says, okay, we're looking for these things. The goal is to find those things. And so if you come on a call and maybe we're talking about, building a relationship or changing your communication style, or hey, just recently, last week, we did a training on how to lead meetings well, right? So when you come to that and you look at it and you go, okay, wait, what do I need to get from this? You tell your brain, this is what you need. 9 times out of 10, you get exactly what you were looking for, okay? So that's how we, kind of get brains ready for showing up, okay? I find that when I do this, people get so much more out of our time together than when I don't, okay? Again, it's just a process of getting your brain and your body all together at the same place, okay? So what is your relationship to time? Okay? What have you thought about this before? Do you spend more time thinking about the past or the future, or are you more in the present moment? And how can you move to more thinking about the present moment? To really honoring this present moment. How can you move closer to that? Now, I don't know your answer. That's your answer, right? I can tell you that I've had my own relationship with time really kind of rocked and changed over the world or over the last few years. And there's been 7 key principles in my life that, quite frankly, I'm so glad I was introduced to them about 2 years ago. And I began to really walk those out in my life. And the one thing I know about this whole pandemic time and really changing everything in my life, is that those 7 principles, if I didn't have those in me, man, I don't know where I would be. And we are getting ready to do a 7-day challenge. It's a mindset challenge. It's the Rule of 7 mindset challenge. And really the intention is to introduce those principles to you, give you a video lesson every single day, one lesson on each of the principles, give you lots of stories and examples how it's worked for me, how it's helping me be wildly successful, even in crazy circumstances. And one of those principles is really to respect the now, be in the present moment. So if you would like to know more about that Rule of 7 Mindset Challenge and jumping into that, I'm going to leave the link in the comments. Feel free. Go ahead and check it out. It might not be right for you, but man, maybe it is. Maybe it's the very thing that you need to kind of get you unstuck from where you are right now, okay? I would love to spend some more time with you. So with that, I release you into the wild. Go forth and prosper. Have an amazing day, and we'll catch you next time. All right, bye-bye.